Dear students, today we are going to enter into Unit 6, that is Prose. The title of the prose is On the Rule of the Road. It was written by A.G. Gardiner. Okay, so what are we going to discuss in this prose? By the title itself, you can understand that we are going to discuss on the rule of the road. And the subdivision of this title, we can say that is a difference between individual liberty and in social liberty. Okay, that is what we are going to discuss in this prose piece. So before going to the lesson, we shall discuss about the short brief note of A.G. Gardiner. So let us discuss his life short biography. So his full name is Alfred George Gardiner. He was a British journalist and the author. He was a prolific essayist, and his style and subject matter easily qualified him to be categorized as what the English would call a very civilized gentleman. His essays include on habits, on being tidy, and on talk and talkers. On the rule of the road was included in one of the Gardiner's compilations titled Leaves in the Wind, and was published under his pseudonym Alpha of the Plough. Now here you can see all his works are compiled into one book titled Leaves in the Wind. So one of the title in this huge collection is On the Rule of the Road. Okay, so this is a short biography of Alfred George Gardiner. So that is a short form of A.G. Gardiner. Okay, so he himself is called a civilized gentleman. Okay, so what is civilized? Knowing what to do in a particular situation. Okay, so that is what we are going to discuss in this lesson. Especially he is going to discuss individual liberty, a liberty which is which deals with the social, deals with the people. That's what we are going to discuss here. So here he gives many examples how we have to behave in the social, and how you have to behave in your individual private liberty at home. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss, and what is the liberty he is going to tell overall. Okay, so let's discuss point by point. I have written in a hints. Okay, like a hints I have taken the points and I have broken those points into hints to give you more detail. Okay, so let us discuss. A stout old lady walking her basket. Here A.G. Gardiner gives an example of a stout lady. So stout means what? A fat lady. Okay, a fat lady is walking with her basket down the middle of a street in Petrograd. What do you mean by Petrograd? It is a city, major city, St. Petersburg, major city in Russia. Okay, so it is a Petrograd is a place in St. Petersburg. Okay, it is in the center of the Russian city. Okay, so a stout lady walking in the middle of the street. Where she is walking? In Petrograd. This Petrograd means what? St. Petersburg. Okay, the great confusion of the traffic. So at the time, the lady did not bother about the traffic rules at all. So what did she do? She just entered into the middle of the road and made a confusion in the traffic. Okay, that is why he says there is a great confusion of a traffic. Okay, and with no small peril to herself. What do you mean by peril? Peril means risk, danger. She, the old lady, did not bother about the danger which is going to happen to her, because in the heavy traffic, if she goes in the middle of the street, what will happen? She may be hit by a car, or she may be hit by a tractor, or she may be hit by a lorry. Okay, then what happens? Then she will get injured or she may die. But the old lady did not bother about all those things, and just she entered into the middle of the street in Petrograd and she started walking. Now what he says, it was pointed out to her that the pavement was the place for pedestrians. What do you mean by pedestrians? Pedestrians means person who walk on the street, the side by. You might have seen in your on the main road, okay, there will be main road. On both the sides there will be a platform that is made for the pedestrians, the people, those who walk, those who go by bicycle, those who go by bike, car, everything, they have to go on the road in between. The people, those who are walking, they have to do what? They have to walk on the pavement which is made for the pedestrians. Pedestrians means the people, those who go by walk on the pavement. Now what he says, somebody pointed to her. To whom? The old lady. Please, old lady, please go and walk on the pavement. Don't walk on the middle of the street. Somebody pointed out to her and warned her, don't walk in the middle of the street. But what is the reply of the lady? She replied, I am going to walk where I like. We have got liberty now. See how she replies in careless manner. She answers. What she answers? I am going to walk where I like. See, this is the road. Okay, I will walk where I like. Why do you question me? Why do you compelling me to walk on the pavement? Okay, so please don't tell me to walk here and there. This is my wish to walk in the middle of the road. We have got liberty now. She says what she says. I have a liberty to walk on the road. You should not question me. So that's what she replies. So what A.J. Cardiner trying to say? He is trying to say there is a liberty. Everybody have got a liberty. But there is a limitation for a particular liberty. So for that he gives an example, a stout lady, old lady walking in the middle of the street in Petrograd, that is St. Petersburg, okay, in Russia, and she makes a confusion of the traffic. Okay, she does not feel any peril. Peril means what? Danger. She did not know the danger which is going to happen. And some people pointed to her, please go and walk on the pavement. You are walking by your feet, so please go on the pavement. It is made for whom? Pedestrians. Pedestrians means what? People, those who walk are called pedestrian. But what happened? She did not listen. She replied, I am going to walk where I like. Okay, we have got liberty. Okay, that's what the reply of the old lady. Now let us move on to the next point. It not occur to the dear old lady. What the next point is, it did not occur to the dear old lady that if liberty entitled pedestrians to walk down on the middle of the road, okay, pedestrians, they walk on the middle of the road, then the end of such liberty would be universal chaos. What do you mean by chaos? Chaos means confusion. What will happen if not occur to the dear old lady? Okay, if liberty entitled the pedestrians, the middle of the road, the end of the such liberty be universal chaos. Now what he is trying to say, when you compare this one old lady walked in the middle of the road and she made a confusion. But what happens if all the pedestrians started walking on the middle of the road? What will happen? There will be universal chaos. There will be a big confusion in the middle of the road. No vehicle can go in between the road. Okay, so that's what she says. So there is a comparison he gives. If one old lady starts walking in the middle of the road, there is a confusion. But what happens if all the pedestrians started walking on the in the middle of the road? What will happen? There will be a universal chaos. Okay, so he is trying to say everybody, okay, everybody would be getting in everybody else and nobody would get anywhere, he says. What happens if everybody started doing things which everybody does? What is that? If everybody started walking in the middle of the road, okay, that is, he says, everybody would be getting in everybody's else way and nobody get anywhere. So if everybody started going in the middle of the road, nobody will get anywhere. What is the meaning of that? If there are some 10 people are walking in the on the pedestrians, okay, sorry, on the pavement, they will reach where they want. But what happens here, if all the people are walking in the middle of the road and vehicles also going, nobody will get anywhere. So that's why he says, he is giving a clear explanation of what is the meaning of individual liberty. Individual liberty become social anarchy, he says. So individual liberty would have become social anarchy. What do you mean by social anarchy? Means lawlessness. Anarchy means lawlessness. If every individual taking the individual liberty to the social aspects, that will become what? That will become lawless. Nobody will follow the rules. So what he says in these 2 points, okay, he is trying to say there is a limitation for the individual liberty in the social. Okay, for that he gave one example of an old lady walking with a basket without bothering the traffic. In the next point what we saw, if everybody following this old lady started disturbing the traffic, what will happen? There will be a universal chaos, there will be universal confusion, and nobody will get to their places where they want to go. So what he says, individual liberty would become social anarchy. When a person feels that individual liberty is very important, then there will be what? Social lawlessness will be there. No law will be followed. Nobody will follow the traffic rules, he says. There a danger of the world getting liberty drunk. So what he says, there is a danger of the world getting liberty drunk. So if people are thinking I have a liberty to do whatever I like, if everybody started thinking in the same way, what will happen? There is a danger of the world getting liberty drunk. Drunk means what? They think that I have a liberty to do whatever I like. Nobody can stop me, he says. So in these days, okay, these days, like old lady with the basket, and it is just as to remind ourselves, okay, remind ourselves of what the rule of the road means. So through this old lady, A.G. Gardiner tries to tell us what is the meaning of the rules of the road means. So now he is going to explain the rules of the road. It means that, okay, in order that liberties of all may be preserved, okay, so all the liberties of the people will be preserved. Everybody's liberty is preserved. But what happens? In what way? Curtailed. Curtailed means reduced. We may have a liberty, but that liberty should have a reduction, that should be cut short. You cannot have a liberty in all the places, okay, you cannot do whatever you like in all the places. So another example he is going to tell us, okay. What example? The policeman, the policeman is a traffic policeman. What he say? What he tries to say? Piccadilly circus. What is this Piccadilly circus? It is a circus, okay. Usually we have a 4-way roads. In between that there will be one circle will be there, okay. In between the circle there may be a fountain or like a gardening will be there. Around that 4 ways or 5 ways will be there, okay, center of the place. In the same way, he gives one example, Piccadilly circus. It is in where? It is in London, okay. It is in London, public space of London's West End, okay. It is a public place. So now policeman is standing in a Piccadilly circus. What is trying to say, do? He is trying to solve the problem of traffic, okay. So he guides the people to go in a proper manner. Okay, in the middle of the road he stands there, okay, in a Piccadilly circus, and puts his hand, okay, to control the people. If it is a 4-way road, he gives minutes to make the vehicles to pass. Okay, so he gives a particular time, then he stops another way, then he makes to leave. In this particular symbol, not of tyranny. What do you mean by tyranny? Tyranny means a dictatorship. Okay, it is not a controlling a people. Since the policeman is guiding the vehicle, it does not mean that he is a powerful person, he is a controlling person. It is not that means, okay, which means he is trying to curtail our liberty. You have liberty to go on the road, but there may be a certain time where you have to curtail your liberty. Curtail means what? To reduce your liberty. Next, what he says, you may being in a hurry. So usually if you see in a cities, some people never follow traffic rules. Okay, there may be red signal will be there, there will be timer will be going on, but what do the people do? They may be in a hurry and they want to go, they want to pass the signal, red signal, without seeing what is coming before them. So what will happen? There may be mishap will happen, the accident will happen, there may be injury or death will happen. So that's what he says, you may be in a hurry, seeing your car pulled by his insolence of office. What do you mean by insolence? Insolence means rudeness. Suppose if you are in a hurry, not following the traffic rules, just passing the red light, what the policeman will do? Just they will pull your car and they will arrest you. Insolence means rudeness. So they will never be kind if you are not following the rules. Okay, they will catch you in a rude manner and they will take you to the office and you may be fined heavily. Okay, so feel that your liberty has been outraged. So in such a situation, what will be your feeling? Your feeling will be very sad. Outraged means you will be dealt violently. Okay, so you may be thinking this treat with violence or abuse is called outraged. So the policeman will catch you if you are hurry and not following the traffic rules, okay, and you will be fined heavily, you will be treated very violently. So in that situation you feel very abused, but actually it is not such case, and you will question yourself, how dare this fellow interfere with your free use of the public way, public highway. See, it is a public highway. I have a liberty to go anywhere, move any direction. Why should he stop me? How dare this fellow stops me? Interfere means what? Hinder, stopping you from doing something. So now this question comes to in your mind, why this fellow interfering my liberty? But actually it's not in such manner. Then what is the meaning? Then if you are a reasonable person, suppose if you are a reasonable person, you will reflect. What you will reflect? You will reflect that he did not interfere you, he would interfere with no one. If he does not interfere you, he will never interfere with anyone, because you are not following the traffic rules. If you are not following the traffic rules, he will stop you, so that others may also will stop their vehicles. If you are going on passing the road without following the traffic rules, what will happen? Other 10 people will follow you. There will be a big mess will be there, big confusion will be there. So here he clearly gives what is individual liberty. For individual liberty in social condition, the liberty has to be curtailed. For that only he gives one example, a policeman standing in a Piccadilly circus, controlling the people, the traffic. Okay, at the particular time, if a person going in a hurry, he will be dealt rudely. And you should not think that it is that symbol of tyranny, symbol of dictating a person. And you should not question, how dare he interfere with me? You should not question all those things. If you are a reasonable person, you have to accept that. Okay, you have to move on with paying the fine. So what is the result? The result that the Piccadilly circus be maelstrom. What do you mean by maelstrom? Maelstrom means a disturbance violently. Okay, so the result maybe if the Piccadilly Circus, a policeman does not stop, there will be a maelstrom, there will be a very big confusions. You never cross at all. If the policeman does not guide you, what will happen? There will be a big confusion. Okay, there will be a very big disturbance and nobody will cross at all. They will never go, they will never reach the place where they want. Okay, so what you have to do? You have submitted to the curtailment. You have submitted to a curtailment of a private liberty. So if you are a reasonable person, what you will do? You will submit yourself for the curtailment of a private liberty. Curtailment means already we have seen, that is reduction, reduce. So what are we reducing? We are reducing our private liberty in a public place. So if you reduce your private liberty, only you can cross the road, otherwise there will be a big confusion. That you may enjoy a social order, okay, which makes you liberty a reality. Okay, so if you this particular thing, when you make your liberty, private liberty curtailed, reduced, you may enjoy a social order. There may be order. Okay, if you follow the traffic rules, when the signal is on the red, if you stop, others also will stop and they will wait. When the time is over, you can pass. If you are not following, if you feel that you are in a hurry, you have to pass, then what will happen? You will never follow the traffic rules, then you will move on. By seeing you, other 10 people also will come behind you and there will be a big mess. Suppose you are a reasonable person, feeling that you have to curtail your private liberty at the particular time, means you may enjoy social order. You will follow and behind people also will follow your rules. Okay, so there will be social order that will makes your liberty a reality. So that makes you a real happening. Okay, the last point what he says, liberty not personal affair only. You should not think liberty means it is a personal affair. You should never think, but it is a social contract. What do you mean by contract? Contract means commitment. It is a social commitment. When you have a personal affair, when you feel that you have a liberty, it does not deal with you personally, but it also deals with the social in a society. It is an accommodation of interest. Okay, it is accommodation of interest, which means when you curtail your liberty, you are giving space for other people. You are accommodating the interest of other people also by reducing your private liberty. And it matters which do not touch anybody else's liberty. Of course, I may be as free as like. Now you can question. What you can question? In matters which do not touch anybody else's liberty. If you are not touching anybody's liberty, what will happen? Of course, I may be as free as I like. So now there is an explanation of what is individual liberty is trying to explain. So till now we have seen how you should deal with your private liberty in social order, in society. Okay, now next he is going to explain to us how you should behave with your private liberty. What is private liberty? Watching TV, wearing a dress which you like, eating food what you like, okay, dancing for the song which you like, okay, speaking to the person whom you like. All these are all personal liberties. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss here. So I hope you have understood the danger of the world which is nearing us. When there will be a danger, when the person thinking that he is drunk with the liberty, when he feels that he has more liberty, okay, when he feels he has more liberty to do whatever he wants, then things will be how? Things will be like a old lady did. What did she do? She made a confusion, universal chaos. She did not follow the rules of the road and she felt that she had a personal liberty to move here and there, and that will make a big universal chaos. And another thing, he gives an example of policeman controlling in a Piccadilly Circus. Okay, he is controlling the traffic rules and it makes the person curtail their private liberty and follow the rules. At a particular time, some people, those who feel outraged, they ask question, how dare this fellow interfere with your free use of public highway? Okay, so but he is asking the people, do not ask such question. You feel, if you are a reasonable person, think that it is for social order. Okay, and next thing he says, if you curtail, if there is a curtailment of the private liberty, you will also enjoy, others also will enjoy, and there will be a social order. And you should not think liberty means personal affair. It is a social contract. It deals with the society. So when you have your curtailment of private liberty, there is a accommodation of others' interest also. In the next points, what he says, do not touch anybody's liberty, of course, as free as I like, which means it is the beginning of the other points which is going to tell us, that is a personal liberty. What is meaning of personal liberty? That we will deal with in next class.